Hey y'all, it's Mojo from Mojo Abroad. It is about 6:30 here on a Wednesday in Germany. So last week I told you guys I'd be telling you about my host only change and a Q&A. So I thought we'd start out with the Q&A and then I'll get on to the host only change. So first of all, big thank you to everyone who sent in questions. Obviously I couldn't do a Q&A without them. So let's get started. So the first question is, what's it like to go from a country as large as the US to a smaller country like Germany? Is it as culturally and geographically diverse? So the first part about that question is going from a country as big as the US to Germany, which is about the size of New Mexico, it doesn't typically affect daily life because you are just kind of like in your own neighborhood, in your own towns. You don't travel much on a daily basis. So it doesn't affect daily life as much. But the only thing I would say is I do find it kind of difficult to explain to native Germans crossing the country why I'm not going to California every other day to go to the beach or something. Like in Germany, if you want to cross the country, you can do that in about a day by car or by train. In the US, it's not quite possible by car or train unless you're flying. So the second part of that question, is it as culturally and geographically diverse? I do think the US is very, very unique in how culturally diverse it is. And you would definitely be very, very hard pressed to find a country that is similar. Geographically though, going along the same lines, the US is so large, it does cover quite a bit of land. So you are going to have a lot more diversity in terms of geographical differences or biomes. So in the US, we will have mountains and plains and forests and deserts. Here in Germany, they typically have more forests and mountains. So, good question. The next one is, do you find it easier or harder to make friends? So, it's definitely harder, that's for sure. But I wouldn't say that's a reflection on the German culture or the German people. That's more on the language barrier between me and them. I'm finding it difficult to express myself in a way that is me. And so, of course, that's a hard time connecting between two people. But it has been becoming easier and easier as my German has gotten better. So, for an example, coming to my new host school, I definitely found it easier to make friends because I do speak a bit more German than I have in the past. Okay, next set of questions. My paper here. What sort of things do you miss about the US? What will you miss about Germany? So, there's so many things to miss. America is my home, definitely. But I will say one of the biggest things I have found myself missing would be the American barbecue. And by that I mean barbecue and steak, just like the really meaty stuff. Here in Germany, we typically have a lot of cold cuts. There's not so much of like the big meats that we eat in America. And just going home and having for dinner just like a rotisserie chicken or a baked chicken for dinner. We don't typically have that here as much, or definitely not really. One of the things that I will miss about Germany is, as much as I miss my car and the privacy that has, it's so easy to use public transportation here. You have your trains, you have your buses, it's very easy to get from one point to another, and I think I will definitely miss that when I go back to the US. Next question. What are some of the first things you notice in Germany that are different from the USA? So I would definitely say, coming at it again, would be the food here. So whereas in America, for breakfast, you have your eggs, your pancakes, your waffles, your bagels, your sausage, your bacon, the biggest meal of the day. Or on the other hand, you don't eat it all for breakfast like I did in the US. Here in Germany, they tend to do a lot of toast and like rolls for breakfast with butter or some sort of fruit jelly or cold cuts. And then in America, you can have either a warm meal or a cold meal depending on who you are. I would typically either have a PB&J sandwich or a salad. Here in Germany, lunch is your biggest meal of the day. It is your warm meal. So I will come home from school and I will sit down and we will have like your basic meal, like a lot of potatoes. Potatoes are German, so we eat a lot of potatoes, and usually like a Wurst, which is a sausage, and some sort of vegetable. And then for dinner, dinners in the US tend to be a warm meal. Of course, there's those times you have a salad or a sandwich when you're on the run, but typically it's your warm meal. In Germany, you do have, again, the bread with a roll, and then you will have a cheese spread or another cold cut that goes on top of that. So next question, how does this exchange compare to your exchange in Spain? Did you learn anything in Spain that is helping you now? So very good question, considering this is my second time abroad. So I'm very lucky to be able to be having be on another exchange year. I do find that I'm very fortunate, and there's so many things that when I was in Spain I thought, if I were to do this again, I would do XYZ better. And being here, being able to improve upon those, I'm very, very lucky. So, I'm definitely taking a lot more initiative while learning the language. I'm doing my own private study. Duolingo, the app, 24/7. I have books that I'm doing. I actually have a big German grammar book that I'm going through. So what I learned in Spain is that I didn't take as much as an initiative learning the language, and so what I found is I was just kind of waiting for me to get it. People said, one day you'll wake up and you'll speak Spanish. So I just kept waiting for that, and I got to the point around Christmas where I wasn't there, and it was very stressful, and I felt like I wasn't communicating, and I felt like I wasn't part of the family, and I didn't have as many friends. And so this time I'm definitely taking more time with the language, and I just feel like once you get the language, everything just falls into place. So, very good question. Okay. So, I'm a senior here in Germany. This is my senior year, and so I am applying to colleges. So this next question is, how are you applying to colleges in Germany? So for the most part, I did try and almost accomplished to finish all my applications and turn those into my 5 colleges that I'm applying to before I came to Germany. And so I accomplished most of that, and then I think I had to finish 2 of my 5. And I finished those essays and I turned them in. And it has been a little complicated with my wacky transcript because I was gone 1 year and I'm in this new school, and most colleges do ask for your first quarter and then your first semester grades. And so since I'm not able to get those because I'm in Germany, I'm just getting my end of the year transcript. That has been a little complicated. But the admissions counselors from all the schools I'm applying to have all been so nice and so helpful, so everything has been resolved. So I'm very proud to say I have actually been accepted to 3 of my colleges of the 5. I'm still waiting to hear back from the following 2. So the last one I just heard about was actually today. I just got accepted to my number 1 college. Yay! So that's definitely been very exciting for me. So the next question, it tends to be very generic. It is, what is the coolest thing you've done since you've been here? So, this whole experience so far, the 3 months I've been here has just been amazing. I have so many great experiences. But the one I would have to say would be the coolest. This is gonna sound really dumb, but just being able to go into school, and I had a full conversation in German with one of my teachers, and I understood her completely. She understood me completely, and that was just like, oh my god, I'm getting the language, I'm here. And that was just one of the coolest experiences I've had, and that was actually last week. So it's been very good. Okay, So next question, of course, I'm in Germany. So they asked, how is your German? So, es ist nicht so schlecht. Jeden Tag wird es besser. So, I hope that answered your question. Do you ever get your German and Spanish confused? So going back to me being an exchange student in Spain, I did learn Spanish. And I don't know what it is about it, but English is definitely my mother tongue. I can definitely stick with that very easily. But because Spanish and German are my second languages, I get them confused a lot. So there are days where I'm speaking in German and I come across a vocab word that I just don't know. And my brain automatically just swaps it in with the Spanish word that I do know. And so I will be talking, I'll ask for a piece of bread, and I will say, kann ich ein Pan haben? So that just doesn't make sense. And then it's been getting easier since I've been learning more and more German vocab. But the one thing I will say is being immersed in the German language so much, I just started taking Spanish in school. And so I will be sitting in Spanish class and I will raise my hand and answer a question. And I will slip into German while I'm speaking Spanish. So just 2 days ago I said, ein año, which ein is one in German and año is year in Spanish. So, bilingual. What you gonna do about it? Okay. So our last question comes from my old swim coach from when I was in elementary school, Coach Hogue. Shout out to you. Miss you. She said, are you still swimming? Unfortunately not. I did stop swimming a few years ago to pursue horseback riding. And I just haven't gotten back into it. Although I do run most days here in Germany. And I'm also working on finding a gym in my new town. So, thank you everyone for sending in questions. I really do enjoy doing these Q&As. So next thing would be about my host family change. So the thing to know about this is it was not on the part of me or of the family wanting to change. My original host family was something that we call a welcome host family. So that's if they do not have a current host family for you, they will put you with a family for 1 to 2 months while the program looks for another permanent family for you. And so I was in Eberswalde near Berlin and I wasn't hearing back about anything. And so when I was in Poland, I actually got a notification from AFS and they told me that they had found me a new host family. So I swapped about a week after that to a place called Freden that is in Niedersachsen or Lower Saxony between Hanover and Kassel. So I have been here for 2 weeks now. I'm in the middle of my second week. Today is 2 weeks officially here. Tomorrow I'll be starting my 3rd week. And so I have 2 host siblings. One is a younger sister. She's in the 10th grade and she's been really, really sweet. She's so great. And then I have an older brother. And my older brother is actually moved out of the house. He graduated last year and he's actually over by Hanover now. And I've seen him on the weekends. And then I have my host mother Melanie and my host father Bernd. I don't know how that's pronounced in English. So, but the entire family has been so sweet to me. It's been a really wonderful experience so far with them. And the next thing I would say is my new school. So the first week I was here, I was put into the 10th grade since my German is not that great. And the way the German school system works, 10th graders have all their core classes together as a class rather than going off to your respected class based off what you want to do. And so I was put into those classes, but I was finding that it was too easy for me, and my school in the US wanted me to be taking either 11th or 12th grade classes to fill my credits. So on last Friday I went in and I got my schedule changed, so I am now in the 11th grade of my new school, and I started my new schedule on Monday. And everyone has been so nice. The teachers have all been so understanding. I'm really enjoying my time here. So far, the amount of times I have been late to classes in my new school because I didn't know where to go. One, I had no idea where to go. The class number was written wrong on my student plan, I don't know the word, my schedule. There you go. I don't know what it was called. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but the room number was written wrong, and so I had to go to the secretary, and they've been very sweet. I've been in there almost every day asking them questions about my schedule. And so they pointed out where to go, and that was very wonderful. And the number of times I went to the wrong class and did not notice until after the fact. One, that was today. I went to the wrong math class. Oops. So, as I said, my host family has been completely, utterly wonderful to me, and this weekend we're actually going to Bremen, which is in Lower Saxony as well. It's over near, I think it's to the west of Hamburg, and so we'll be going there for the weekend with them, family trip. I'm very excited. So, again, big thanks to everyone for sending in any questions that they had. And of course, if you ever have any questions for me, you can email me at mojoabroad@gmail.com, mojoabroad@gmail.com, or follow me on Instagram at mojoabroad, or Facebook at Marissa Pedisano. Okay, all the links are going to be down below. Everyone have a great week. See you next time. Bye!